Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are very quiet today. Let me see who's in the room here today. Let me share my screen. Okay. All right, everybody's straggling in a little by little. Good morning. I know it's Christmas Eve, so for a lot of people, you're already starting to eat and get around. But I actually have a really interesting quiet day session for us in Zoom that I think you guys are really going to like. I did a lot of interesting research I'm going to share with you. How's everybody doing? Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you hear me okay. Tell me if everything is good in chat. Ask Boris. Connie, good morning. Kevin, oh, everybody is trolling in. You guys are truly hardcore. I'm shocked. So many people are rolling into the room today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Very nice. Okay. So before we talk markets, it's very, very quiet. Oh, just as I said, it was very, very quiet. We had a big dump in the NAS. That's kind of interesting. Big flush. No signals for me. So no trades. But we'll keep an eye on this. I'm looking for a signal. Actually, I'm looking for a signal. But before we start, let me just kind of first of all tell you the MT5 and MT4 versions of the pure indicator, just the reverse pure indicator, is now in Trader Tools. So feel free, take a look, and let me know if you are able to get it. I'm actually going to launch 8's platform right now. Just bear with me a sec. All right, here's 8's platform, and I've already installed the indicator. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wow, it's nice big rebound. That's interesting. Okay, we'll keep an eye on this move. Whoa, NAS is really, really, really interesting. What's going on over here? Wow. No chasing. I'm not going to chase this, but kind of interesting little flush move. Okay, so let's not look at screens for right now. Let's just focus on the indicator. So I'm actually going to delete this and show you how to attach it. And okay, so let me see if I can. I'm gonna go with you. MT5 is not Mac compatible. No, nothing is Mac compatible. I'm looking to download. Let me see. Okay, I'm trying to bring this over here. I'm going to go into Dropbox. I'm going to kind of mimic what you guys do. So I'm going to go into our tools. I'm going to find the indicators, and I'm going to find, this is the 4 version, and obviously the 5 version is the 5. I'm going to download this. Okay, so that's downloaded, right? Okay, let's minimize this. Let's go into File, Open Data Folder, Downloads. Where's my download? I just went into my downloads now. Did that go someplace else? Where did it go? Where is my download? Didn't I go in my downloads folder? Oh, maybe this is it, right? No, yeah, this is it. Okay, sorry, this is it right here. Okay, so we're gonna copy that, go back into the indicators folder. Let's just kill this. Let's just go. So I'm gonna copy that file, open data folder, just to show you how to attach it for those of you who don't know. MQL4, indicators, paste this, and we could definitely gonna just make sure we change the name, because obviously I've downloaded this a few times. So let me just download this. Okay. Reversal Trader Pure. Then refresh. Let's go find it. Reversal Trader Pure. Okay. So let's drop this on here. Okay. So super simple. You literally don't have to do anything, but just drop it on the chart if you want. If you want to change, first of all, if you don't want to enable sound alerts, you can change those to false, right? And I just realized, where's the time? Oh man, fudge! I know he did this for me. Why don't we have the time? Oh, so annoying. Okay. This is not the version, and I don't have the time right now to go look. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I had I know I have the latest version that has the time. I know I have it. Let me just, oh man, how come he gave me the wrong version? Bear with me a second, guys, bear with me. Yeah, he's got the time. Why is he, sorry. Okay, this is the one that I need to download. Okay. Open. Always look for this app. But I don't want to open this. Save as Reversal Trader Pure time. Okay, sorry, let me back to Open Data folder, downloads, time. Okay, let's try this one. Control C, backwards, MQL4. I will put that into, I'll actually call it time so that there's no confusion, because now it's just so annoying. Okay, so let's just, this is the problem when we have so many versions and we never keep track of the versions. Okay, pure time. Let's see if we can load this. Okay, now we got it. Okay, so this has time. So this obviously uses your server time. So let's say I only want this thing to give me signals from, I don't know, 10 o'clock my server time to 2000 hours my server time. Okay, and then it will only give me signals during that time. And I'm just going to say, okay, and now I've laid it down and here are the signals. And I have NASDAQ, it's got a little bit of a negative arrow on it right now. Watch, just let me see if I got anything. No, nothing on the, actually nothing on the futures, no signals on the futures. Okay, so that's super simple. That's the indicator, and everybody can have it. I'm actually going to put the time version. I'm going to call it time. In addition to the regular one, and put it in there just in case you want it or not, you know, as an option. Okay. This is the one that's going to say time. The one that's going to say time is the absolute latest one, Rob. And you know, you don't have that, Boris, because this is the brand new stuff that I'm putting in there. Okay. So these are the time versions. I frankly don't know if, because I think Danielle forgot to give me the MT5 time version. So I'm gonna, the one that has a time clock in it, it's gonna be called, instead of Reversal Trader Pure, it'll be called Reversal Trader Pure Time. You know, the only difference is that you're able to turn off the indicator. You can also just completely turn it off if you want. You can just not have audio alerts, but of course audio alerts are very, very good, because you can just turn it to false, right? You can just turn this to false, and then there won't be any audio alerts. But those are very good. Okay, all right. I'm going to, just for fun, we're gonna trade this right now. I'm gonna take the short on this NAS right now in the CFDs. Just follow me along if you want, but I'll explain in a minute. I'm gonna trade it with this particular structure, and I'll explain in a minute as to some of the research I did that I think you guys might find interesting. So let's, we're just gonna leave it alone. Let's see if it plays out right now on the NAS. So now, before the markets kind of heat up, let's take a look and download the EA itself. The EA itself, right? So I'm going to go off screen here just to download my EA because you guys don't need to know. You know how to download the stuff. Now, sorry, before I say this, the EA itself is only available in the Masterminds box. So everybody has access to the indicator. Indicator is universally available to any BK members. If you want to have the EA, you need to be either a lifetime member or have paid for the Masterminds course. If you want the Masterminds course post course, then by all means message me and I'll be happy to give you a special discount rate for it. Okay. Okay. So let me just download the MT4 version. They're both MT4 and MT5s are there, but I'm going to download the MT4. It's called Pure EA. So I'm going to download this. Does everybody like the new Dropbox interface? I kind of really like it. I think they did a good job with it. Okay, open data folder, downloads, Pure EA. So I'm going to copy this, go back here into my MQL4. Now, the only problem, I just realized, the only problem is if you're putting in the EA itself, right? You have to have the indicator called pure, not time. So for all intents and purposes, oh no, it's fine because I have the other indicator version. That's fine. I do have the pure one there. So I have the pure and I have the pure time. So I have both of them in there. Okay. So now we're going to go to experts, refresh, and let's go, I don't know, to the Eurodollar chart. And we have the pure EA one. I'm going to launch it. And here are the inputs that are interesting because this has a couple of interesting changes that all of you can kind of view. So the main changes here is we have a starting time, ending time for the EA, which is, again, same kind of component, same kind of structure. You can make it basically continuous by saying 000 to 2325, or you can make it a very particular time when you want it to start or not. We have the width of the moving averages, which is defined here as 3 pips, and I think that's you don't need it. I think you only need like maybe 1 pip width as a strength indicator, and you can change it to false. The volatility of the trigger candle. So the trigger candle is 80% of the potential profit. That's the default, which is, I think, fine. You could make it 100% of potential profit if you want. So if it's bigger than if, let's say, the candle itself is 50 points and the potential profit is 20 points, then it's not going to do a trade, right? And the volatility filter is set to true, right? The threshold in countdown bars is 10, just like in the applet. But here's where it gets kind of interesting. So lot size is obviously modified by you. Entry, offset, and micro tips. Entry offset means how many points above or below the high do you want this thing to trigger? And this is basically 1 pip, which is 10 micro pips. And we could say 1 micro pip, which is fine to me. Just a 1/10 of a pip above is good enough as a factor. And now I think I need, where's the, no, this is also the wrong one. because this one had, oh, fuck, I'm gonna kill Daniel. He gave, I have all the, oh, damn it. Okay, bear with me one more second. Again, sorry for the interruption, but it's super quiet, guys. Nothing is going on, so I might as well just get this correct for you guys. Let me see where he did this. Just bear with me. Sorry. MT5. I think he sent me the old versions. Ah, damn it. Okay, hang on. I have it in other location. Okay, yes. So this is the fixed pip options. Okay, let's do this. Trying to open this as EA fixed. Okay. Fixed. Okay, let me just save this. Okay, sorry. So I'm just, again, looking for the right open. Okay, open data folder. Downloads. Fixed. This is the one I want. Control C, reverse, MQL, experts, fixed. All right, I promise you, I will make sure that they're all correct when they're there. So this one's called fixed. Let's lay this one in here. And then we're going to go into the inputs. And you see, sorry, so here's the differential. So we talked about all the other stuff that that we configured. Actually, I might as well just configure this the way I like it, which is 1.0. True at 100% of vol. Threshold is correct. Entry should be just 1 pip. Okay, and now here's the thing. You can choose dynamic or fixed pip. If you choose dynamic, what it's going to do is it's going to essentially calculate the risk based upon the high-low, how much of a high-low, how much of an offset of the high-low. Let's say you're entering at this price, the low is 20 pips away, and there's another 5 pips of offset. So the whole risk is 25 pips. And then you say, I want 70% of risk, which means that I'm going to basically have a TP of around 18, 19, okay? Dynamic, that's dynamic. If you want a fixed, just a simple clean fixed one, you choose fixed pips, and then you say, my stop loss will be 200, which is fine, and my take profit will be, let's say, 50, which is also fine. And I'll get into that, why I kind of like this structure in just 1 second. And that's it. And you're ready to go, and the whole thing is working, and it's got a smiley face in it, and it's running on Eurodollar. So that's just a quick walkthrough the various components of this whole thing, right? Mel is asking, does the EA and the non-time version need to run on the VPS server? The time indicator needs to run on a local MT4 so you can hear the sound. So 2 things, Mel. First of all, the EA couldn't care less about the sound. The EA is going to take every trade. The sound is designed for manual entry to alert you to the fact that there is a setup going on. There's an arrow setup coming in, right? That's what's going on there, right? So the EA couldn't care less about the sound. The EA can run on a VPS if you want it to run continuously, or it can run locally on your thing if you just want to turn it on, turn it off at certain times. Or you can run on a VPS and turn it on, turn it off at certain times. So all those decisions are totally independent. Does that make sense? I think you, by the way, also there are some VPSs where you can actually enable sound in the VPS, and you'll hear it. You'll hear it. I forgot the actual mechanics of it, but it's easy enough to do, and you can talk to your VPS provider. So you'll actually, if you want to, if let's say you're running a Mac and you're running all of this on a VPS, it will actually alert you through the VPS will have, if you enable sound on a VPS, it will ring a bell, basically. All right, does that sound cool? Okay, so that's basically it. I'll make sure that I have the fixed pip version. So the fixed pip version has the dynamic version embedded in it. I mean, that's the final, that's the correct version. That's the last version. The indicator with time component on it is the proper indicator to use. Okay, that's the proper indicator to use. And what I'm actually going to do is it's not going to be called time. I just called it time right now because I need it differentiated. But I'm going to delete the one that's called reversal pure, rename the time into reversal pure, because that is the true final indicator. Because the reversal pure indicator basically paints the arrows and then gives you audio signals. And by the way, you can change those WAV files, just to kind of let you know. I think like there's a whole bunch of WAV files in your Windows, just to show you how you can change those WAV files if you want to change a different sound. So let me go in here. Let me modify reversal, go edit, right? And if I call this, I think there's like a connect. You guys can look it up. I'm pretty sure there's a file called. You have to make sure that you have the right name, connect.wave, or the 20 other WAV files that are there. All you got to do is just name it, because it already looks into that Windows directory that has all the WAV files. Just simply search for WAV files, and you can change the names to it. Change these. I actually have it like my FX has different sounds than my features and CFDs. So it just alerts me that, oh, I have something happening on FX. I have something happening on CFDs. Okay, so that's really kind of cool, and very, very clean and clear. All right, so sorry for the clumsy intro and all this stuff, but you guys all get the idea. You're all pros on all of this. The point is, the EA is right there. You can configure it. The template, the backtest that I've given you are the ones that you want to use on longer term charts. It will work perfectly fine on all those charts, and that's really, that's really where you want to be on that whole process. I'm actually, I totally screwed the pooch on this. I should have been here on this trade too. Damn it, sorry. All right, too late. I'm not going to chase the euro to the downside, but let's, for fun and profit, imagine that I was short 87 with, well, it's already TP'd, so whatever, fuck it. This is, I'm going to show you some of the things that I've been kind of working on that I think you'll find very, very interesting. So let's just look at our NDX. Our NDX is here. That's fine. Still floating. Okay. Any questions? Let me just kind of stop. Any questions on the indicator itself? On interesting. Hang on a second, guys. Interesting. I don't know if you guys saw my article on Tesla, and I'm just getting a lot of. I knew this was going to generate a lot of heated argument. I'm just Mustang 8 Fusion. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I took the Nasdaq. I'm gonna get into that. This is a long conversation, so I'm just basically saving my time for all the stuff. Let me see. Let me just make sure everybody is really clear on all the indicators. Yeah, that's, I think, honestly, that's going to be the killer application, assuming Ford knows what they're doing. But having watched a million YouTube reviews of the Mustang by very professional guys, because I really know nothing about cars, it seemed like they were just blown away at the production and the quality of the product. So, um, I'm just going on their word that this is a true competitor. Okay, Himanshu, what's up, my friend? What you have any questions on the trades for me here? Just gonna wait for Himanshu's question before we proceed. Okay, yeah, feel free to comment on Tesla. Okay, so all right, let's take a look at some interesting and I dare say highly controversial ideas that I had for you guys. And I'm actually, so we're short NASDAQ. Now I'm actually going to watch this because I didn't take the trade in the futures account, but I'm watching this right now. Let me just actually see if let's go back to the CFDs. Because the beautiful thing about CFDs, I can go both ways, right? So we can go NDX. Let me just lay this down. There's my NDX. NDX. Okay. Chart window. New NDX. And I'm going to probably take another trade. Let me just make sure I get this right here. Okay. I'm probably going to take another trade here in just 1 second. What do I have? I have 8 seconds, 9 seconds left, 6 seconds. No trade, no trade. I got no trade. Okay. I thought I might have a trade, but no trade. Okay. Okay. So I want to propose something interesting to you. I started, it's actually perfect. I'm glad it was no trade. Well, we'll see. I started kind of looking back at the flow of basic reversal and continuation trades, right, during the day. And here's the roundabout general data set of what happens. There are about between 10 and 15 possible trades during the full New York trading session. I'm gonna focus on New York trading session first because that's the most liquid and interesting part of this theory. So there's basically there are about 10 to 15 possible trades to be made, right? In each one in the New York trading session. So between switching of sorry, this kind of blew. Why did this blow up so fast? Okay, so I am going to take this trade. Okay, now I'm going to take. So I took the long with a 5 target here. And today is probably the single worst day for all of this stuff. But I want to just show you the principles of what I'm trying to do here. Wow, it's really, man, this is just so. I guess it looks more exaggerated than it does. It's only 2 points. So effectively, yes, I'm long and I'm short. So I have my long. Remember we talked about the long and short account, right? And you're trading two sides of the market. But what really kind of struck me is that there is a huge amount of unnecessary stoppage that happens with the setup. In other words, the setup very often, especially in the Dow, and I'll show this to you in the Dow as well. Very often we're correct in our general assignment of direction, but we get stopped out before that trade is actualized. And so my thinking said to myself, what if we did something really ridiculous? What if we expanded our stops to 20 and kept our targets at 5? So this is a 1 to 4 risk reward structure. Is there any possible way that could work? And I want to show you something, that you may find interesting. So let me get into Trading View here, and just give you a couple of interesting ideas. I'm gonna do this, by the way, on CFDs, because CFDs have continuous prices, and it's just a lot easier to do this. Give me just 1 second. I'm just pulling up the CFD chart. Yeah. Okay, so where's my short? My short should be. I guess it's moving. So this is the market opening right now. That's why we're getting all these all this volatility. This, by the way, this strategy definitely not to be used at market opening. Okay, so my long made hit target. My short is 10 points under, and I have a 20-point stop. So it's conceivable that I could get stopped out. But we're going to be very patient with this, and I'll show you. We'll see what happens. So basically, right now I'm +5, and also floating a massive liability. But so far I haven't gotten taken out of this particular trade. So let me kind of show you. Let me go into full screen. Just bear with me. Trying to get this off screen organized here for you. Okay, here's NAS. And by the way, I'm looking. So here's NAS, right? Here's NAS, and I'm actually watching this right now because this is not. Why is it not showing up as a buy signal on this? It's weird, very weird. It's not showing up as a buy signal on here. Maybe because of the pricing differential. Okay. Well, we're gonna assume that this is a buy signal. I'm gonna play this again. We're gonna assume that this candle is a buy signal, and if the high of this buy signal gets taken out on a closing basis, I'm a little bit late to set up. I'm gonna have to go manual if this works. So okay, so my short got stopped out, which is fine. That's given on the opening of the rotation. But what I need right now is for this candle to hold the highs on the buy side, and we'll see if that happens. And if it doesn't happen, then we don't have a trade. And what I will do, I actually can now I have a chance to set this up. So okay, so this is the buy candle, even though it's not a buy candle on this particular. I actually want to break the highs here. Okay, so let's leave it here. So if it doesn't break the highs, we don't have a setup. Fine. If it does, we do have a setup, and we'll trade again. So just for argument's sake, if we're keeping score, we're +5 -20, so we're -15 right now, and we're just going to keep on going. We're going to keep on going with this little experiment, and we'll see if this gives us a little bit of continuation here. All right, I will. We'll let the now that the algo is all set up, we don't have to worry about it. Okay. So here's what's interesting: is if let's just go to yesterday. It looks like it's gonna trigger us. Well, we'll see. You got 25 minutes here. We'll see how it extends. Let's replay yesterday from the New York session to, let me keep an eye out on this, by the way, just to let you guys, so we got 1 minute, triggers me. Okay, now we're looking for another 5 points, okay? Now we're looking for another 5 points to the upside. I'm gonna let it go. I'm not touching this. This is not a strategy where I'm managing anything. I'm just gonna let it, it's either gonna hit me or not. It may not hit, may not hit me with the CFD pricing, but it should. We'll see. Okay, another 5 points. So now I'm only down 10. Okay, now I'm kind of down 10. I was down 15. Now I'm down 10 because I had that pre-market bad trade. But whatever. We're gonna keep on going with this. Right now we don't have any setups, so we can just move our focus off the chart. And let me take you down to yesterday's New York session open and kind of run you through it. And you'll start to get an idea of what I am basically doing, which is kind of super interesting. So the first thing I have to tell you is that you really have to have faith that the numbers will fall your way if you want to do this. Like you cannot judge this strategy by 1 or 2 trades. You got to have like a 15 trade bundle in mind, and obviously, you know, you want to be looking at this over more than just a day's worth of trading. But here's how it goes. So the first premise is you take the first directional trade in trend, regardless of whether it's a reversal trade or a continuation trade, as long as it conforms to our thesis, which is, so here we don't have a buy failure. We have a sell continuation. So it takes out the lows over here. We're short plus five, right? So that's your continuation trade. You then couple that with a very, very specific reversal trade. The reversal trade is done in the following way. You have to have, if you're in the sell zone, you're absolutely looking for a buy candle. But the buy candle cannot in any way, shape, or form close through the 12 SMA. It has to be outside. It has to be extended. It has to be, you know, stretched away from the rubber bands, right? So that if you have that condition, that's your condition number 1 for reversal. Condition number 2 for reversal is the candle, the candle after the buy candle that closes through the 20 SMA, right? Closes through 20 SMA is your triggered candle for a reversal to the upside. Right? And you have, you basically look to make sure that the volatility of the actual triggered candle is no bigger than your basically what I would say is actually no bigger than 75% of your. So if my risk is 20, I don't want the candle itself, the high low of the candle, to be more than 15. In this particular case, I think it actually satisfies my criteria. It's no more than 15. And honestly, I should really make it 10. I think I'm gonna make it 10 on the reversal side. And you'll see why. Because if you have a very, very big trigger candle, most of the profit potential is kind of already done. In this case, if I took this trade, I'm actually stopped out, because if I get long over here at 87, there is literally to the tick minus 20 points. I would get stopped out, but ultimately the trade works, right? So for argument's sake, okay, I'm plus 5, minus 20, minus 15, but let's keep on trading, right? Now we get into the buy zone. And in the buy zone, we're looking for, again, reversal and continuation trades. So in this case, we have a sell candle, which is above the moving average. And then this candle over here touches the 12 SMA. The reversal candle can be really early. You're not under no condition to maintain it. And you sell here at 97, it easily makes plus 5. So now you're only minus 10, right? Now you're in an uptrend and you're looking for any kind of potential buy candle, right? So here's the sell candle, gets taken out over here. This actually, I think, makes another plus 5. So now you've cut your deficit to just negative 5. On the second account, this is your continuation account. So you made money on the second account. You see that there's a sell candle, and this particular sell candle, it's actually not even this one, because that kind of would be cheating, closes through the 12 SMA. You get short over here. Again, you have a big 20-point stop. Boom. You make money. Now you're flat. And as you keep on going, my point is that by the end of the day, effectively, you have 2 losses at the beginning of the day, and the rest of the day is just all winners. You're like at 12-2, 13-2. So the days run in that particular, in that kind of a fashion, where you just, because you're giving yourself so much ample room to breathe, the losers are effectively 1 out of 7. Sometimes if you're super, if the price action is super conducive to you, 1 out of 8. So if you're 1 out of 8, you're talking about making 40 on the 8, losing 20 on the 1, you're net positive 20. It just keeps on going and going and going. But, let me just see what's going on in the marketplace right now, just to see if we have any setups here. No, we're just blowing up to the upside. We don't have any signals, nothing going on here. But what's fascinating about that is this opens up the possibility to look at other indices where, again, our tight stops were actually very detrimental to performance. Let's take a look at Dow. And I don't know, let's take a look at December 3rd, for argument's sake. I don't care. Let's go December 3rd, right? Okay, so this is a CFD again, so I can get a full clean price chart. And let me just start with I can run this idea during off-market hours as well, and it actually runs pretty well. And the beautiful thing about it is that you're not filtering yourself. I mean, you could filter yourself to just one, the opening trend trade. So whatever is the trend trade that is opening trade. So here's we have positive trend. This isn't obviously New York market hours, but it's just the concept. So I have opening trend trade over here on the sell side, right? And I'm looking, for the first buy, which in this case would be, since this sell doesn't get high, I think this buy, I think it's over here. So you get long over here. In the Dow, you're using 40 stop, 10 target, and boom, you make 10 target, you make 10 target, you make 10 target. You can just keep on going. If you didn't want to, if you did not want to filter yourself, right? Now, what's happening here, this is interesting, is that you have a reversal candle here, so reversal candle outside of this thing, right? But the trigger candle itself, remember I said the trigger candle should be only no more than half of your total risk. So in the NASDAQ, my total risk is 20, so a trigger candle should be no more than 10 points. In the Dow, my risk is 40, so my trigger candle should be no more than 40 points. And I believe this one is, well, maybe no. This one actually, no, sorry. This one complies to the standards. It's the low is 20, the high is 35, so it's 15. It's 15. So I do take this trade. I'm short 21, and I'm looking for 11, and I don't think I make it. The lowest that it goes here is 15. So here I lose 40, but I make 10. I make 10. I make 10. I make 10. Okay, I make 10. I even make, so I make 3 10s against the 40. Then here's this reversal candle over here, which I'm short over here with a 40 stop, and I easily make another 10. So now I'm flat. Now I'm plus 10. Now I'm plus 10 because this reversal candle hits. Now I am plus 20 because this reversal candle hits. Now I'm plus 30 because this continuation candle hits. Now I'm plus 40 because this continuation candle hits, and so on and so on and so forth. I even, well, this candle, this is too big a candle, so we'll ignore this, right? We're back an uptrend over here. Too big a candle, we'll ignore it. This candle over here to the upside, I buy this, right? I have a 40-point stop. I'm now plus 50, in trade. So from 4 o'clock in the morning, which is early Europe, to before the New York opens, I suffered one debilitating loss at the beginning, and I made everything back plus then some. So I literally went -1, and then I went 9 in a row, positive winners. And now I'm like, so I was plus 90 against 40, and I was basically plus 50. And if I wanted to just fold up and close up my shop in 4 hours, I'm done. I'm done for the day. It's just a super, super interesting way of considering trading. You obviously have to be, one, mentally prepared for big hits. But the point is that because you are operating in a wider range, you're giving all those trades lots and lots of breathing space, and because you are creating so many opportunities. Remember, in 4 hours you had 10 trades, and you had these are all legitimate trades. They weren't just random trades that you were just like, oh, this looks good, this looks good. This had signal trades, and because you had signal trades, they were therefore very precise and definable. it creates, I think, a really interesting dynamic for a disciplined approach. Let me see if anybody has any questions. Yeah, everybody's talking about that. Ford management really sucks. I'll just say that on the Ford issue, the Ford Mustang has gotten rave reviews. So we'll see. I'll tell you what will either, whether I'm right or wrong, will depend on whether Ford Mustang can sell 50,000 units. Every other electric vehicle company, Audi, Jaguar, Porsche, have done dick all, as we say in New York, and they've done 2,000-3,000 units per year. I don't care how good their product is, they can't market. Ford is a pretty decent marketing machine, and they're aiming to just make this a broad-based Mr. and Mrs. Suburban product. So if they can shove 50,000 units into the marketplace next year, that destroys Tesla's has been floating on the idea that nobody can challenge them. The moment somebody sells as many cars as they do in the U.S. market, they're gone. They're gone as far as the what I call the magical carpet ride premium goes. So that's sort of like my view on Tesla. Boris, so yeah, I'm always aiming 5 points, because the thing about this is, you can see, it's extremely hard. The whole idea here is you're trading effectively like an insurance company. By the way, let's take a look at where we're at on, is there anything going on here? No, NAS is just in a massive parabolic move here. So we had a big jump. Where's my futures? I don't even know oh wow, futures really powered on here. So you definitely have to have, like I said to you, I run it with 2 accounts, and one account basically trades continuation signals, and the other account trades reversal signals. If you're trading futures, but I also think it's a good idea to do the same thing on CFDs, even though principally you can be both long and short, just so that you could keep the whole book even. And the thing about this is, the point is, it's a controlled trade environment. You're not rattled by one bad trade, because first of all, almost even the 20-point loss is almost immediately offset with a 5-point win. So it's not as stingy as losing 4 times your money. It's losing 3 times your risk is still horrible, but as you can see, you can make it back within an hour. And then when you are when this thing really works, and what really makes this thing work well, is when you're catching a continuous trend with good signals, or if you're catching big chop with oscillation, big wild oscillations, regardless of whether you're in continuous trend or big chop oscillations, you are able to capture all the profits on the reversal side while avoiding most of the traps for trend, because trend trades just don't trigger. The highs are not taken out, the lows are not taken out, right? And when there's trend, there is no reversal signals, so you're just not taking reversal signals. And it's that favorable climate that keeps going 5, 6, 7 trades in a row. And when you add it all up, that's what makes it work. Yeah, so it's 5 on the NASDAQ, 10 on the Dow, with a 40 stop, 10 target. What that does, by the way, also, one of the reasons why I think it's so interesting as an idea is because whether it be futures or CFDs, we're constantly battling spread and commissions, right? We're constantly battling market costs. And the problem is that the tighter the stop, the more vulnerable you are to just market, it's a cost, right? You want stops to be infrequent, because the more stops you have, even if you have 3 10-point stops, right? That's already 30 points versus 1 10-point stop, which is 20 points. Or in the Dow, if you have 3, somebody's asking, can you trade? Please ask. Always ask all your questions in the chat Ask Boris room while I'm in the webinar, because it's, first of all, it's hard for me to look at private messages, but also everybody wants to know the same. If you got the question, everybody else got the question on their mind. The question was, can you trade both reversal and continuation in one account? if you are on a CFD account, if you're a non-US resident and you're trading a non-US account, absolutely. If you're a US resident, then no, you have to have two separate accounts. You can't be, what you're basically asking is, can I be both long and short at the same time? If you're trading CFDs, the answer is yes. If you're trading futures, the answer is no. The accounts will not hold diametrically opposite positions, right? So now I'm looking at futures here to see if I can get a sell signal coming in here somewhere, anywhere. So far, I don't see anything shaping up. But we did blow up. Well, we took that's a big ass ramp. I didn't realize this is what is this, a Robinhood ramp? I didn't even realize how big a move this was to the upside. It was just literally 50, 60 points on the open. We'll see if we get any kind of, we're looking for continuation signals, we're looking for reversal signals, we're looking for anything to give us a chance to trade, right? And obviously, as I said, this kind of idea works best during market hours. But as you can see, like on the Dow, 4 to 8 o'clock in the morning, New York, the London open to basically pre-New York. You have plenty of opportunities, to make money there as well. What's going on over here? I got just no signals in anything that's going on here. Let's take a look at currencies. Let's see what's going on with currencies. So we can play the same game with currencies, by the way. It's so much fun to do this with currencies as well. So let's just play along. We didn't, obviously we weren't trading this live today because I wanted to show you the principle, but here it is. So here's CAD. The up arrow is way outside of the blue, touches over here, right? Touches over here. I don't know. I don't think this is more than, what's the high low on this? This is right. Oh, this is a 1 minute chart. This is a tiny, yes, this is 1 minute chart. Okay, so fine. So the high low here is tiny. So I'm long here at 37, and I'm looking for just 5 points, and that's I make 4. Couldn't quite make it. Can't quite make the move. So I have to give myself the thing about currencies, by the way, that I think is kind of a lot of fun, is because you can trade them with such minuscule size. I'm not at all averse to say, here's a setup. It just missed my target by 4, but here's the setup. But I'm still 20. I have a 20 stop on this thing, and that's well outside of. So like I'm long at 37. My stop is 17. So here's a second setup over here, which enters me at 31. So now I have 37, 31. That's basically 33 mix, and I'm looking just basically for a 37 target. Still haven't gotten here. It's 35, but I'm not averse to averaging it on tiny sizes on FX here, and seeing if that works. In the meantime, this is the reversal candle. But remember that I'm also trading the continuation side, and in the continuation side, we either take the reversal continuation signal. So in this case, the low of this is 33, gets broken like right around here at around right over here, 33, and I'm looking for 5, more than enough, makes the 5, right? So I am still floating my long reversal plus 5 on that, and that's kind of like how the whole story goes. Sometimes you just you're floating the other leg positive on this leg. And in a perfect world, do you try to both legs resolve, or one leg never triggers? It's just a one-way market. It's a full reversal market, or it's a full continuation market. And when you catch those full markets, those slices of of things, when things go really your way, that's when you have the opportunity to really rack up wins and keep them going. Obviously, today is a very quiet day, so it's just nothing. Today is probably some of the worst sample sizes here. But here's a reversal candle, boom, you make 5, right? Here's effectively a continuation candle, because that fails over here. You make another 5, right? Then you have no more signals. Here's a reversal candle. I think this is good for 5. I'm not sure. Let's just take a look. It's hard to see. Now, obviously mindful that, okay, so this, oh no, this is not the, I thought this was the reversal candle. So this is the trigger trade. This would not be a trigger trade. So not a trade. Okay, so this doesn't, this doesn't trigger us, no reversal. Because why is this not a reversal? Because the candle is not really outside the blue line. It really needs to be, if it's touching the blue line on the closing basis, it's a little too close for comfort. I'm not taking that reversal signal. So here I have a continuation signal. I just keep going. I make, boom, I'm up on that. Here's a negative trend, but then it switches to a positive trend, then it switches to a positive trend, nothing going on over here. Finally, we have a negative trend, boom, and I think this is another 5, right? So lots of opportunity as long as you follow it. Currency is playing, Connie's saying currency is playing well with the setups. Yeah, they really do. Currencies are actually surprised. I was really surprised at how well they play. And especially if you do it in this particular structure, which is, let's give it a little ample room and let's trade both sides of the ledger, and just keep, the whole idea is to make between 10 and 15 trades, and when the dust settles, to be essentially net 5 positive, right? So like be 13 out of 2, perfect world, maybe 15 out of 2, somewhere around there. And on a bad day, you may be, 15 out of 3, 15 out of 4, which is not great, but not in no way debilitating. If you're 15 out of 4 on a 10-40 bet, let's just play that. On a 10-40 bet, 15 out of 4, you're only down 10 points, because 40 times 40 is 160, 40 times 4 is 160, and 15 is 150, right? Because this kind of structure with the setups, with the signals, with the entries, really keeps you in that 80. You want to be in that 80 to 90 zone. In that 80 to 90 zone. If you slip into the 70 to 80 zone, that's when you start losing money. Where it becomes really, where it doesn't really work is if it slips into the 50-60 zone. But that's incredibly unusual. There may be a regime where it becomes a 50-60% proposition, but I find, so far I haven't been able to find it. Maybe like something like this where you just have flat markets, then big breakouts, so one side loses, and you have another flat market, so you take both sides of the equation, and then boom, one side loses. But this kind of a price signature of just complete flatness and then huge breakout, complete flatness and huge breakout, doesn't repeat itself continuously. You may have like 2 or 3 of these unusual slices, but that's just not the normal price action of markets. Is usually wavy, up and down, and it's trend, up and down and trend. There's much more oscillation, and you're able, by doing that, you're able to avoid most of the false positives and do well with the proper ones, So it's very quiet, guys. I got nothing going on. Let me see. I haven't even looked. Let's look at the Dow and the DAX. Dow doesn't even have anything. Jesus. Dow had, so this is, if we traded the Dow here, we'd be short here at 57, and it certainly went to 47, so plus 10, right? We've had no reversal signals, although we could, so right now for fun and profit, let's see. So we're now positive trend. This would be a reversal buy if it closes through the highs of this candle. The high of this candle is 60. The high of this candle is 86. It's 80, 84, 85. Let's just put an 86 on this thing, and let's see if it works. We'll put a buy on this, and we'll put a 40 stop on this. Let's see if it takes us into the trade. And it seems to be holding, so let's see if it can keep us in this trade. It's pretty well extended, but it is beating the reference point, so we're gonna follow this trade. Oh, yeah, okay. I was like, does it not trigger? Yes, it triggered. Okay. And, you know, as usual, the Dow, like usually in these cases, always goes against us, right? Sometimes it goes against us really steeply. We get stopped out, and it doesn't work. And I think, you know, today maybe it's just going to double top over here and completely collapse 40 against us. But let's give it a shot. I'm not, you know, um, it's holiday trade, so I'm perfectly prepared for anything to happen here. Where's the German? The German gave us a great, you know, great setup here that I just simply didn't trade to the upside. Oh, is it? Oh no, the German is. Never mind. The German is the DAX is closed. I was like, why is the German not quoting? Yeah, because it's Christmas. Okay, so the Dow is flailing for us. Still no signals, no buy or sell arrows on the NAS here. So unfortunately, no setups here for us to take. And we have to be a little bit patient here with all the stuff here. Now the Dow really, I mean, Dow really extended, but what was the Dow price action before the market? So I said this was plus 10 over here that we would have taken on the open, and there was really no signals in the prior because of holiday trading hours, so nothing going on over here. So I'm just watching, see what anything going on here. Let's see what's happening in pound. We have a pound that's was a great trade. So the pound would have been a great trade here at like +5, right? So it would have been short here, just for argument's sake. So 97. I'm looking for 92. Did that even hit over here? Yeah, that hit like, you know, boom, +5 right over here. Cable is because cable is so volatile. It's a super great trade for these kind of potentials. And let's just play the this particular segment of cable. +5 on this. This takes out the highs, +5 on this, right? Then +5 on this. So now we're +15 on cable. As it starts to, you know, now it's starting to collapse. I guess, is the news bad? Did they screw up the, is the fish, it sounds like fish is killing them. Let me see what the news is. Um, Since labor is going to back the deal, we'll be setting our formal response to the deal in due course. The deal is done according to Boris Johnson. So it's interesting. So it looks like it's selling off on the news. I thought there was negative news, but it looks like Johnson just posted, and they must be taking profits on the news. Well, you know, it ran all the way up to 36, so it's not surprising that it's taking profits right now. And now it'd be interesting for us to see if we can get a reversal trade on cable, if that happens at all. Where's Euro doing? What's Euro doing for us? Let's go to the 1 minute chart on the Euro. Okay, so Euro is kind of negative, right? So Euro, let's just take this trade. Man, I don't have the Euro. Okay, I'm just gonna have to. Okay, we'll do this old school fashion. So let's just do this because again, sell signal broke the lows. Let's see if we can make 5 against 20. Where's my thing? I just don't have the Euro set up here. So the stop would be 200. Level is 50. This is a micro pips, right? So boom, boom, boom. Correct. Yeah. So let's see if cable originates itself down to the 80 level. It should actually be from here, from 87. So it should be 82. I need to modify this to, I'm modifying it off where I should have been entering just to be consistent. So it should be actually 30 pips. Let's see this. 81.8. Okay. Let's see if that hits. All right. What else going on here? NAS. Oh, NAS. Oh no, not a signal, because this was not a this was floating inside the moving average. So even though this is clearly reversing right now, not a signal for us. Would have been sweet, but not a signal. Now, what's interesting, by the way, is you'll see that the moving averages are late, right? So they're kind of delayed. Right now, the trend is still up. And if, for example, there was a candle that took out the high of this particular sell arrow, that would be actually a legitimate buy candle for us, and we would be willing to do it. So let's actually, you know what, we can actually we can set that up for ourselves. We can set that up at it's probably at around 11 or so. Oh, sorry. So the high on this was, what's the high on this? 14. Can make this 14. Okay. So if this takes out 14, then then we're in business. Oh, and this should be 5. By the way, I don't know if you guys are watching. We're still negative on the Dow, but you see how deep it went against us, and now it's retraced a little bit. And that's just it's been a story of our life here in trying to trade the Dow, which is the inability to to kind of stay with a trade. The Dow actually now has, is this a Dow? Dow actually has a better entry. Like we took this entry when in fact this should have been this should have been the entry, because now we have positive move here. So one of the weaknesses of this particular strategy, which I'm still trying to figure out, is what happens if your reference point is inferior, the reference point at which you triggered is inferior, and then there's a kind of a superior reference point that comes in. Is it worthwhile to kind of trade that superior reference point as a potential entry? The problem is I don't know how to I don't want to get into the idea of adding to positions and managing inventory and stuff like that. So I've just sort of let it basically float, even though this would have been a much better entry, right? This is a 178 entry instead of like a 189 entry. It's like 12 points below. There's nothing much I can do in this particular case. I took a much more extended trade because I wasn't being patient. But in a proper structure, we should have waited for price to become positive, for us to get a breakout signal, and then let that signal float and see if it works for us. So far has not. Nasdaq also has not. So here the trend lines of the moving averages are clearly defined. Nasdaq is battled its way back up to the upside. Let's see if that works as an entry here. What do we have? 44, 43 seconds. Oh, we're in Nasdaq trade. I didn't even know. Oh, sorry, that did trigger. We're already in the Nasdaq trade. I'm not even realizing it. So that triggered us on the buy side. And now we're trying to see if this thing can resolve for us for 5 points. What's my TP on NASDAQ? It is 19. Okay. Oh, 19, boom. NASDAQ gets done. Okay. So again, just a, example of trade, trade and thesis. And if, honestly, if we sort of, if you don't trade the 9:30 to 10 o'clock hour, if you kind of start trading 10 to 15:30, like I noticed very interesting things that basically the first half hour and the last half hour are the most volatile, the most unaccommodating to the structure. But that time in between generally tends to be liquid and also quite accommodating, to the move. So, that's it. We're still floating the Dow. We'll see. Well, the interesting thing is you see how much longer you get to stay in the trade because you're giving it a lot more breathing space. Will it work? Maybe. Well, it probably. There was another good example of where if we had entered the Dow. No, I mean I can't even say, like, if we had entered the Dow at this level, we certainly would be in a more favorable position to see if this thing works. But we're gonna, I'll let you know after Christmas, whether this trade resolved. And as I said, it's immaterial whether it resolves on this one trade. You have to keep in mind that you're going to be doing between 10 and 15 trades a day, and you expect to have a couple of big hits. The idea is that if you're 7 out of 8, then you are net positive. It's like selling insurance, and one of these guys is going to just wreck their motorcycle or their automobile because they're idiot drivers. But if you sold it to 100 drivers, you've got more than enough money left over at the end of the day to make, to create profits. That's why insurance companies are the most profitable businesses in the world. Aside from the fact that they actually never pay out their liabilities. But anyways, yeah. I gave you a lot of food for thought for Christmas. That's right, Boris. Thank you. It's, as I said, it's what makes this idea interesting is that it's not just, oh, let's trade with really, really negative risk reward ratios. It's let's trade a very, very disciplined approach that we know actuarially is quite accurate, especially to give it a little bit of breathing space, in a way that gives it the greatest amount of chance to succeed, while at the same time not becoming so ridiculous that any one single trade takes you out on a stretcher. Not even 2 or not even 3 trades can take you out on a stretcher. But yeah, I think the question is 1 to 4 risk reward ratio seems insane, but if it's combined with a very, very specific, highly defined entry structure, then I think it might be doable. That's why that's why I wanted to share this with you guys, because I thought this is a really, really interesting movement of all of the ideas that we've been trading, especially when you subdivide the account into whether you call it long or short, or whether you call it continuation or reversal. When you basically subdivide the account into 2 sides of the market, because the market really only has 2 sides. It has continuation or reversal, right? And we're trying to trade both of those sides with the optimal amount of profit and the least amount of damage. That's my final word for the day, guys. How's that sound to you guys? All right. Thank you guys so much. Everybody have a wonderful holiday. I don't know, honestly. I'm wrestling with the idea of, like, is it worthwhile to trade next week? Is it not worthwhile? We might dip our toes. Tuesday, Wednesday. By Thursday, it'll certainly be dead. Christmas week usually is just the deadest of all weeks. So I frankly don't know. but you know, let's play it by ear. We'll get together. I'll be with you guys on Monday, and then we'll see if it's if there's still news to be traded. Markets are active. Yes. If not, maybe we'll just relax a little bit and come back after the first of the year. Right. We've got a great system. We got great structures. I'm looking really forward to next year as a very consistent methodology for us to trade. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let me see if I can get a Christmas tree over here. I think we can. I think I have a. Yeah, there we go. There's a Christmas tree for everybody. And there is Santa. Sandwich or Santa. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. I'll see you guys everybody on Monday. And then obviously, you know, we'll play it by ear from there. And I will upload the latest versions into all the latest versions of the indicator, latest versions of the EA into each one of the charts. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day. Take care.